Okay, and I believe we are live. It might take a couple extra seconds for YouTube side of things, but we are up and running, ladies and gentlemen. uh, like to thank everybody for coming along to watch this little shindig here, because Dispatch a bit kind of on the talk of the town lately, and I'm here with TruePop to talk about it because I think we had very different runs in our dispatch story that I think we could cover a pretty wide array of the game itself.
Definitely, definitely. I don't know if my headphone mic is coming from. Damn it! Technical difficulties yet again.
I mean a
I
little bit,
think.
but I could still hear you, and
Okay, how about now? Yeah, now
yeah.
feel a whole lot better because it's not using my in-game computer mic, it's using my actual headset mic. There we go. All right, sorry.
Ah, no, don't worry about that. But
Yay. So what sounds different now, right?
oh yeah, it does sound a little bit different there.
Okay, cool. Um, yeah, sorry about that. But yes, what I've got, I think, a run that no one in the history of mankind has gotten. Um,
Yeah, I'm kind of
not that
curious.
that's a
I'm kind of curious about yours because, like, for
yeah.
my run, I wound up getting what for certain characters it got like the bad ending for certain characters.
Mhm.
So what? How did it go for you? I guess.
Um, I can't remember. Like that first run was a bit weird for me. Um, should we talk about the ending of it? I guess.
I mean, I feel like we're gonna like go. I guess we'll get to that
Yeah, yeah.
in a bit. Like, let's just start off with let's start with like the general like thought process. I guess. Just like what was your general thoughts on the whole experience? I guess.
Um, it was fun. At first, I wasn't particularly feeling it because I was like, Los Angeles, crass, uh, not so good superheroes and whatnot. I've seen this before. It's a little daunting
Yeah.
with your James Gunnisms and whatnot. So I wasn't that particularly interested at first. I thought maybe Phenomenon might be evil, maybe Blonde Blazer might be evil. Um,
Yeah, a lot of people were thinking that.
yeah, yeah. But at the end of it, I was just like, oh, this is kind of like more of a simple superhero story. I
Yeah,
feel like it stuck with the landing, and I really appreciated that.
yeah, I think it. A lot of people were definitely thinking that this was going to be like something like The Boys or something
Mm,
where it's like all the characters are really just degenerate, horrible people, but in reality, like it's just it doesn't shy away from being a superhero world. It just happens to make the characters be people.
mm.
They act like people. They don't act like people that should be on a registered list or anything like that.
Mhm.
Which
James
is
Gunn.
pretty good. I would.
Mm.
I don't think that's a James Gunn thing. I think that's a Amazon The Boys thing.
Okay.
Cause
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but yeah. So like, I was pretty happy with it.
Mhm.
Also, it was nice to be playing some Telltale stuff after the
Definitely.
years.
I guess I'm gonna. This is funny. I need to mention this. What achievement I got from this game? Let me just boot up my Steam and read it
Okay.
out loud to you because oh, great, it's updating. Of course, it's updating. Because I doubt no one's ever gotten this achievement, and it's all because an indecisive little boy. You know the debate, Blonde Blazer versus Invisigal, right?
Oh yeah.
So I got a achievement where I choose neither of them.
Oh my god, you really went the lonely ass route?
I didn't need to. Okay, I will read it out as soon as it updates for you. But it's a bit of a kerfuffle of how I went about it. Um,
I mean, like, I think my craziest.
I could not believe it. I was like, wait, are you gonna give me further chances to kind of make up for this? No. It's like what when you have that date, when you have the kiss or whatever, that's your chance is gone. And I'm like, oh, well, okay then. Um,
Yeah, I think my worst one was failed as a mentor. Like,
oh, we
yeah,
didn't fail her anyway. She's like, that's on her. Um,
yeah, but that's we'll get right into that. But like, yeah, I had fun with it because Telltale. I've been jonesing for that kind of game for a while, and honestly, I think this evolution of their Telltale formula, like, is pretty good because like typically in the old games there'd be like sections where you're just like walking around and just trying to point and click at
yeah,
everything, and it can get kind of tedious, especially if you're like doing multiple runs just to see certain stuff. You know, I think taking stuff like that out of it makes it a lot better. Like it puts in more of a visual novel
yeah,
style. You
yeah.
know, like
Okay, I have the achievements up. It's we can just be friends. Kept romance out of the workplace, and it's 14.1 of players got this achievement. 14%, and I'm
Jesus.
the idiot who got it. So let me explain how I got it. So
Okay.
when it came to the date thing, I had
Uh
an
huh.
Invisigal or Blonde Blazer. I was like, I kind of want to go with Blonde Blazer, but I don't want to piss off Omni Man. Um, so I went with Invisigal because
Uh,
she seemed a bit low. I felt bad for her, so I went with her to the cinema. Because I go to the cinema all the time by myself, so I kind of felt bad for her. It was a pity thing.
do you
Um,
also spend $86 on food?
no, God no. I buy nearby the cheap stuff, cram it into my pockets, and go in there. Or in a bag.
Yeah.
That's what I usually do. Uh, so yeah, I went on a date with her. Then she was like going on to me, and can we just be friends? I selected as Invisigal. And she was annoyed with that.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
can't
can
remember what I
imagine
did.
why.
I leaned out of the kiss with her because I was like, no, I kind of like Blood Blazer by now. And it never gave me a chance to. If you don't go on that date with Blonde Blazer, there's no chance to reconnect with Blonde Blazer.
Of
But
course
it
not,
gives you
because
plenty of chances to reconnect with Invisigal. It's stupid. It's like the
well,
game wants you to go with her, I would say.
I mean that is a possibility. There is like I think they were there's a lot that like leans to it, but
Mm,
I'd still say they are both very good relationships
mhm.
paths to go down in. They both represent two different factors. You have
Yeah.
Blazer, who's more of like the goody, like nice, kind character that's pretty much what you need for Robert to, not be miserable sad sack. And then you have Invisigal to be like, someone who is a loner and all that and needs someone to just go, hey, you're not alone. You're not like completely lost.
Hmm.
So it's good. Like I think that's a good thing for this game is like when it gives you some difficult choices, but even then you could say, oh yeah, all the choices are still good in their own way. You
Yeah.
know.
By the way, fun fact. Like, don't worry about the you failed as a mentor. Because I at first like, hang on. So I have to romance her in order for her to take the bullet. That seems a bit stupid. But you
Oh,
don't
no.
you don't
My
actually have to romance her in order for her to step in and take the bullet towards the end. So I'm
I
glad they had that
my
option.
run. She didn't take no bullet for me in my run.
Yeah, yeah.
Like.
She became the villain. Yeah, in my first run through, that was the case too.
You
Um,
got you got the bad ending where she just stabbed Shroud in the throat.
yeah,
Oh
I mean,
wow.
I was like lightly inconvenienced, like, hey, I wanted to kill him. You know, that's not fair. But
I see, huh? That's interesting. I thought you would have had like the more traditional ending.
uh, oh yeah, that's because the first time around I kicked her out of the squad.
I did that too.
I think that's what pushes like so. If you keep her
It's
in the
like
squad,
they do give you like a couple of chances, but I think that is the big one.
yeah. So you forgive her, you keep her in the squad, you give her a pep talk, and you don't have to be romantic with her, and you can stay with Blonde Blazer. So I wanted like both, like the best of both worlds. You know, her,
You were trying to be friendly,
yeah.
but then you wound up being lonely.
Oh no, this is my second run through. So I went with Blonde Blazer and kept it kind of professional but helpful with Invisigal, and you kind of get the best of both worlds. So you do get to arrest Shroud, and you get Invisigal on your side. There is a way to do it. Um,
Well, yeah,
it's interesting.
obviously.
There's like 3 or 4 like big endings.
Yeah,
I would
there's
say
you
in
know,
this game.
yeah, and then there's like, just little sprinkles of like flavor to it. I mean, I'm surprised they even accounted for the fact that you could technically romance them both and the game will like acknowledge, yeah, you were doing that.
Yeah. To be
It is
honest, like,
funny.
well, who are you more with? I remember you saying in my chat that you'd pick Pop Blazer.
I was definitely more for Blazer because uh,
Mm.
I think not only did she like remind me a lot of like proper Carol Danvers and like
Oh yeah.
Supergirl and other stuff like that. I just liked how she was. She was friendly. She was kind. Even when you accidentally spit pure alcohol in her mouth, she was like, "Yeah, no, don't worry about it. It's fine." You know, like I don't know. She just it just worked for me. And then Invisigal was like, while I did grow to like her later on, her abrasiveness kind of like put me off for a bit. Also,
Mm-hmm.
I don't do no nose piercings,
The cousin of piercings here.
but yeah, like I mean,
Remember start of episode 3 or 4? Was it
it
that
was
was?
4. I know I remember it was 4. That was the funny way to start that episode off. It's just like,
What
oh,
wasn't there like a statistic towards the end, like 50% of players watched this part of the session? You dirty animal.
no, not
Oh,
like that.
was it a fake one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was one of those fake ones.
Oh,
But
okay.
like, yeah, I think let's see, what should we? I think we should really start talking about like the main guy, Robert or Mecha
hmm
Man here, and because like, what did you think of him?
I think he's interesting, but um, I think he shines through for me in the first and last 2 episodes for me personally, because like through episode 2, 3, 4, and 5, he's like, "Oh, I'll help you out by hacking this sprinkler system," and I'm like, "Really?"
I
You
mean,
know,
like,
I think it'd be a better approach for him to be kind of like frustrated that he can't help. He's just behind the desk. There's no need for these
well,
like little mini games that I
I
that
I
yeah.
I mean, I get it, but I think they have to sort of do something to showcase that he can still do stuff even if he's not running around in the mecha armor kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like, uh, I don't know. Who knows what they would do for their season 2 when they get that up and running, obviously.
hmm
Uh, but I think what I liked about Robert was he proves that he doesn't have that like Tony Stark syndrome thing. It's like, oh, take off the armor. What are you? He's
hmm
still a capable guy. He's still like training and working out, and keeping himself sharp. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
even if he's not in the armor, he could still throw hands and beat the ever loving crap out of you. You know, powers or no powers, he's gonna go for it. Which I feel like that really endears you to a character like that
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't always need to have a crutch, like or be like start turning into a sniveling bitch as soon as they lose their gimmick. You know?
Mm-hmm. No, he definitely does what he can, even without the suit. And even you throw out Invisigal as well at one point. Like the suit didn't make me a hero. It's what made me uh my kind of character, my attitude towards it. That's what made me Mega Man. Um,
Yeah, it was
and I
like
kind of like
how
that.
yeah I that was a good line there. You know, because it does really solidify. You know that. Mecha Man is not just the suit; it's the man inside. Obviously,
Hmm.
you know, and I, I quite liked his like dry, like sarcastic wit he's got in
Hmm.
this. You know, where he can take all the crap that gets thrown at him, and he is really quick to throw it back at other people. You know, just no fucks given, and it's never like he seems to be a pushover. You know,
Hmm. Definitely.
like I think that's one of the best parts, especially when when Blazer gives you like instructions. She doesn't just go, "Oh, you got to do this," blah blah blah, because they tell you it's like, "Hey, look, this is a thing we got to do. However you want to approach it, that's your call. I'll support you. There you go." Because in other games or in other media, that would be an entirely different story.
Hmm.
Like you just get like a total bitch out of it. But here the characters are all like pretty all right. I mean, although for me there's a couple that I'm kind of like, well, if I find you drowning, I'm not going to be in a hurry to
Yeah,
save you. You know?
yeah. I really liked Robert's relationship with Chase as well,
Oh yeah, that was a really good one there.
especially
Like
like
I
well, fifth or sixth episode with the flashback.
oh
And
yeah
that's great because he's just running to get Twinkies for him. And now that you know the side
yeah.
effect of his powers, like, should I have been an idiot and asked him to get Twinkies of all the shit? Maybe that'd be
I
more
mean,
right.
yeah, that is one of those things that makes you go like, "Oh shit, do I like did I really fuck like how bad did I fuck his life up not knowing the consequences of this, you
Mm,
know?" But like, yeah, there's quite a good number of like characters that are pretty interesting, like Chase was definitely up there. Blazer's good.
I really thought, by the way, Chase died. I really did.
I thought he did. I thought he did
But
too. I was
they
like, "Oh
didn't have
shit."
the balls. I mean, Jeffrey Wright is probably a bit. That's a big name, big voice actor. So I guess they hesitated. But
I I mean, but then again, they did get a couple of big names, so you
who
know,
else is in here apart from
uh,
yeah, bitch, Breaking Bad,
well,
Aaron Paul,
you got Aaron Paul, you got
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright, you have Travis William who plays Phenomenon Man,
Who's
Matthew Mercer who plays Shroud,
who is he?
Laura Bailey.
I'm not here. I don't. I think Laura Bailey did Harley Quinn.
She not really Harley. She's done like a lot of Black Widow voices
Huh.
and occasionally some Catwoman stuff.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
not familiar
mostly it's like
with the rest. Yeah.
well, yeah, most of them are like again Critical Role. They're a bunch of voice actors that have a lot of shits and giggles on their own D&D shows and whatnot.
Hmm.
And whenever they're not doing something in video games.
There's like Moist Critical and Jacksepticeye as well.
Oh right. Oh fuck right. And Alana Pierce, who I thought was the worst of the bunch for the YouTuber voice actor trio.
Yeah.
Like I would say like on the tier list there, like Jacksepticeye was probably the best out of the trio because I think they wrote his character to work around his
Mhm.
voice, and he wasn't like putting up an exaggeration of his, you know,
Mhm.
like accent or anything. Moist Critical was like, yeah, I kind of didn't like to hear him, but I could at least think he tried. Alana Pierce, I just wanted to like gouge my ears out every time I heard her talk. Like, and it's kind of annoying because I'm seeing so many people like go nuts over her design on Twitter, and I'm like, yeah, I totally
Mhm.
get it. But the second she opens her mouth, it's like, oh no, you ruined it for me.
Mhm.
I don't want it. You
She
know,
presented a graph of situational
situational
disability. Yeah,
disability.
yeah, I made a video on that. I remember. It's just like what happens when you're situationally deaf. It's when you're wearing
Yeah,
headphones. That's the
yeah.
situational disability.
When you have a child in your hand.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, that's it right there. I'll tell you that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Shroud was really cool.
oh yeah, Shroud was really cool. It helps that his voice actor is like really fucking good at his job, you know?
Mhm.
So like that was good there. I would say okay, let's let's dive into I would say I guess we have to really talk about the quote unquote gameplay, the actual dispatching of the heroes.
Yeah,
How did you feel about that gameplay?
annoying. I have to be honest, annoying because sometimes I get 80, 90%, still might fail. And sometimes I get like 15 and 20. I even got the freaking luckiest of the luck RNG. Where is it? There we go. Fool's luck succeeded a call with less than 15% of success. So I'm getting these like lucky tosses of a hero uh doing their tasks, but I'm getting unlucky on the highest percentages, and it's incredibly annoying. I'm not sure if I like it. I don't know what I would do to change it. I didn't like the hacking either. I just like the dialogues, if I'm honest, and the characters. That's kind of what I grew attached to. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would say it's not bad. It's definitely better than what
Mhm.
the old Telltale was, which was just walking around in a room just looking like an idiot. You know, at least it gives you something like
I don't
practical to
know.
do. Well, here's the thing,
I
man. Do
didn't
you want?
mind the walking around, you
Yeah,
know?
but I don't know, man. It's like you really want to spend like walking like a turtle, trying to like bloodhound your way over every little thing to pick up over like a game mechanic
Yeah,
that could be
there
worked
is that.
on. Like,
There is that like you missed some kind of item or some kind of clue, like in Wolves Among Us. Like, oh great, now I can't tell Toad that he did his house got robbed because I missed the freaking cable thing under the. Are you kidding me? That's so that is kind of annoying, but
yeah, so
um,
I would say that while this like gameplay isn't like the best, like it's a lot
you would,
better.
yeah,
It could get worked on.
yeah, you'd say that you'd prefer this than the walking around, which I understand,
I
but
would prefer it because it at the very least like it hits the right tone. Like you're still there listening to the characters. It's still it even has an effect on the gameplay and how characters react because if you because they'll give you those certain missions where they have like the specialized for certain characters, and if you pick them, then they'll remember it and they'll become better on the next shift type thing. Like I like that kind of stuff that it incorporates. It makes the choices feel a lot more uh, valuable, you know, and they reactive. Unlike later Telltale games where it just felt like the choices just didn't matter with the shit.
yep.
Yeah, so like that's what I would like. I think obviously they could if they could tweak it a bit, you know, depending on what their plans are for season 2. I think this could be something. For me, it was a little bit of a bitch to handle at first because it's like you're sort of just making it a lot like guesswork of a lot of them, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
start like you got to have some reading comprehension to
Mm-hmm.
pick some of them, and even then, like you'll hit like some of those missions where you think you picked the right one, and then they'll show that thing where they'll give you like multiple options to handle a
It was
mission.
actually speed and agility. I'm like, how am I supposed to? I
Well,
thought
no,
we
no,
were
no, it's
catching the
not that.
train and
It's like
resistance.
those
Yeah.
ones where they give you multiple options, and then they have that like third one that has the picture of the hero that would be perfect for this, and you're just like, oh come on, how the fuck was I supposed to know that?
Ah, right. Yeah. I usually got lucky with that and pressed it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get too many of those. Like, I
Mm.
think I had like a couple of them that like worked,
One or two.
and
Yeah. And
and
then
like
and then it's like a guarantee that you completed it. Yeah.
yeah, so it really is like you gotta like pay
It.
attention and like
Yeah. In my
focus.
second run through, like it went a lot better because I kind of got used to like synergies and stuff like that, paying more attention to that.
Yeah.
And Punch Up has this like really extremely useful ability where even if you're full, you can send him as well. So like really boosts up your chances. So even if it's like a one space mission, you can still throw in Punch Up in there. Um, yeah, if I'm not sure, I just cram them with superheroes, and that usually well does the trick. But then I'm screwed over for the next few ones because I have no one to send.
Yeah, I kind of went. I tend to go like I went pretty cautious in my run. Like I would only send one, maybe two on a job if need be, because I was always like worried that okay, I like if I send like if I send everybody in one go, then I'm gonna get screwed and I'm not gonna get the hit the marker or whatever. And then there'll be just some missions where it's just like, okay, you know what? I don't mind waiting on this one to just expire because fuck that mission in
Mhm.
particular. I think
Who did you
I,
fire by the way, Coop or Sonar?
I fired Sonar.
Hmm,
Like,
interesting.
yeah, I like, and I had a lot
I
of time to think about it, like
yeah.
in my run because like in my initial run, I admit I had a little bit of bias because I was tired of hearing YouTuber voices. I was like, okay, I'm fucking tired. And I liked Coop better. She had a better design, better voice. Uh sure she was a former assassin for the mob, but the whole point of the Z team is you're meant to redeem
Mhm.
the characters in a sense. And now while I didn't go about it the best way, I felt she was more effective on the field because she won't fuck around. She'll just do her job.
Yep.
Unlike Sonar, who if you who will straight up to steal drugs and also like start trying to come up with insurance fraud schemes while on monitored communications, which
Hmm.
to me it's one thing to be a criminal. It's one thing to be a stupid criminal. It's like don't be talking about your potential crimes while you're on the monitored line, dude.
Yep.
So I fired him, and when they gave me the choice to uh, forgive him, I did not forgive him because it was
Wow.
like I know, like probably like it would have been better to forgive him. It would have fit with the game, but for me, I kind of went. There's a certain point where it's like, okay, yeah, it sucks you got fired, but you then went teamed up with the supervillain, started
Mhm.
tearing up the entire city, and then tried to kill your former teammates and friends.
Yeah.
Like, and you expect after all of that for me to let you back in? Like, fuck you. You go to prison, you know? Which sure
Yeah.
probably wasn't
By the way,
the good guy route, but I was like, no.
yeah, I did not even because on my second playthrough, um, I went the same way that you did. Like I went with Coop the second time. I did not get a chance to forgive Sonar because I failed the mini boss of him, and if you fail the mini boss,
Oh yeah, I
you
heard
go
about
straight to
that.
jail. Yeah, and I was like, what the hell? I thought I could forgive him because um
Right. Because you kept the quick time events on. I didn't do that in my run.
mm. Oh
I
no
don't know.
no 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 no! This is the on the dispatching thing that you have to defeat him, deplete his health bar on the dispatching thing.
Really?
Uh,
That's a okay.
yeah.
I did
So
not
if
know
you
that.
lose that, you can actually lose it. You can't forgive him because he destroyed like half the city. Well, most of it. Um, and I just kind of found that funny. So if I don't defeat him and he doesn't destroy half the city, you can forgive him. So that's interesting. I think I understand your reasoning, but I think the story works a little bit better if you choose.
I've been seeing people say that he
Yeah,
works better
and if you
story
choose
wise.
him and Waterboy. Now,
I
my first run through, I was like, I'm gonna get the Superman. Are you fucking kidding me? Obviously I'm gonna get him. Um, and I noticed that on my second playthrough, it was a lot harder because Waterboy, well,
yeah,
he's not the best.
Water Boy is definitely more challenging because you have to build him up a bit to get him to be useful, and you gotta like. Uh, I wound up usually just teaming him up with like Punch Up because Punch Up doesn't get like downed when he loses a mission, so Water Boy doesn't like fuck him up in missions.
Ah, okay. And Malevola seems to have a synergy with Waterboy as well, which was a bit weird. So I was like, oh, I was missing Sonar, but now Malevola's synergy is with Waterboy for some reason. I don't know why, but okay.
That's because like whoever you like kick out, Waterboy will replace the synergy level with. So
Oh,
Punch Up and Malevola will just start working better with Waterboy to
okay.
to
So
compensate for it.
if I kicked out Coop, he'd work better with Punch Up.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and there'd even be like dialogue they'd have, 'cause they even
Top of
do
the
like
morning to
yeah.
you. That's interesting. Um, yeah, I might play through the final level just to beat Sonar in a dispatch game and to forgive him. And I think I might get achievement there. How many achievements am I missing? 25. Wow, I'm missing 11 achievements. Damn.
Hmm. So like I guess what would you say like I know there's a couple of weak ducks in the roster depending on how you go about it. Who do you think was like one of the characters that you were just like, yeah, I ain't feeling it.
Hmm. That's a weakest character.
Yeah, like what character do you think
Might be
was
a bit controversial.
okay?
Invisigal.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I feel I feel like the game wants me to care too much about her. I feel like she's just pushed on me far too much.
Like it insists upon itself.
Yes, yes, exactly that. I'm like
Okay.
you're. So let me get this straight. Your abilities are you have to turn invisible. You have to hold your breath to turn invisible, but you have asthma.
Yeah.
That's stupid. And I guess that's why she goes for the augments that Shroud is offering.
Yeah.
But damn, what a power set! You know who thinks of that? And I'm like, why give her the inhaler though? That just seems
Well,
really
the
really
inhaler
dumb.
is because, asthma, and she also explained that when she quit working for Shroud, the augment wasn't working no more. You know.
That was just wow. I'd retire at that point if my powers are so dependent on that. I could seriously injure my lungs. I mean, it's funny. I mean, I
Well,
guess Trackstar has the same side effects. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like you also have to realize these are like like as Robert says, these are all former supervillains, and they are literally called the Z Team because they are the bottom of the barrel, meaning
Yeah,
they are like canonically a lot of them are just fucking retarded.
yeah. Flambe kind of annoyed me, but not necessarily because of character reasons, because his stats are kind of not useful.
They're
I
very
never sent him much.
they're very hit and miss. Uh,
Yeah.
I would say I don't know. Flambe was I don't know. He was useful to a degree as a character. Like it didn't really he didn't really get a whole lot in my run because you
Mm.
have to make certain choices. Like I like
Oh,
you have to
I
tell the team you're Mecha Man.
okay. I know whose personality I think I hated the
Oh,
most.
okay.
I mean, it's either Invisigal or Prison. Her
Ooh,
personality, I couldn't stand it. If I could fire her, I'd fire her just to not hear her voice, even though her ability is quite
you know what?
useful.
Actually, that is a good question. Like if you had like the whole run of the first team, like not
Mhm.
including Phenomenon or Waterboy, right? Like
Mm.
and they told you, okay, you got to fire one of these assholes. Which one are you picking?
Prison.
Oh
Even
wow! No
it.
hesitation, no nothing. Just get the fuck out.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just look. Her ability is very useful. She can duplicate heroes. That's extremely useful. But I just can't stand to hear her voice over and over again. Um, I still have Malevola. She's her stats are useful. She's a jack of all trades, and she can synergize with other people. I
Yeah.
just I don't want to hear your voice anymore. Like you say that you can't stand the YouTuber. I guess I don't listen to these YouTubers.
It's
But
just
yeah,
like
her voice just annoyed me the most. Yeah.
it's just with Charles with Voice Critical in particular. It's because I've heard him so much through other people putting his clips on or his like very monotone voice, and like I'll give him a little bit. He seems to be trying, but it's just that voice and the role of the character is just not quite up to snuff. So I immediately kicked him out, mostly on that. Plus, I didn't quite like how he was just being a dumb criminal. You know, at the very least, Flambe, who, if you really look at some of the story, he's only at the top of the charts of the team because he's intentionally starting fires to stop. You know, like which is like okay, you know. At the end of the day, Flambe just sort of becomes he's an asshole, but then he becomes the asshole, but he's our asshole kind of guy. You know, like
Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna be a dickhead, but
Yeah.
if
I think it
say
was worth telling him the truth. I don't know what happens if you don't. I mean, that just seems like a ticking time bomb.
uh
If you
you
don't
know
tell
it's
him,
the
does he
you know
find
that's the
find out
weirdest thing.
later?
I think that's the weirdest thing I ever had with my run was like
Hmm.
because they'll give you the taco spot where you have the choice to tell them right now if you
Hmm.
obviously if you tell them Flambe gets pissed tries to kill you Golem stops that and then of course depending on who you picked Phenomenon or Waterboy Flambe gets hit with water and then he fucks off and then he'll show up later to deck you in the face at your party, right?
Hmm.
Now I didn't pick that. I picked I picked to keep my Mecha Man identity a secret because
Uh-huh.
I was under the impression like, okay, why would you tell me that like former superheroes work at SDN, right? And we keep the identities a secret for a reason, It's
Hmm.
like and I wanted to keep that number of people who knew my identity short because like the people that did know was Blonde Blazer, Chase, Royd, Waterboy, and Invisigal. Like that's
Fucking
five.
hell.
So I
Fucking
was
hell.
yeah I didn't want to like expand the number more than I needed to, and a lot of the characters I felt
Annoyed you. Yeah.
they annoyed me or they were I didn't feel like I personally trusted them enough to reveal that very important identity.
Mm.
So when I did it like Flambe just all you get out of it is like Flambe says what his real name is, which is Chad, and
Hmm.
then he'll like not say anything during the Invisigal meeting, like,
Hmm.
and that's kind of it. Like, which was kind of interesting
So he
because
doesn't find out.
I don't know. The thing is that he doesn't really say anything to really acknowledge whether or not
What about the final battle?
nothing happens. Like, it's the strangest thing to me. Like, he doesn't say
Oh,
any.
oh. So when it was Shroud's about to kill him, so he says nothing. He
Yeah,
literally steps out the suit.
not a thing. Like, they don't address it, which is kind of the weirdest thing to me because like, you know how when Malevola pops up in your apartment, with
Hmm.
Royd and Bizagal, you know, and they're talking about, oh, we found the pulse, we can make you Mecha Man again, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't tell them that you're Mecha Man, that scene carries out pretty normally up until the point where Chase like gets pissed off with Ibizagal and says like Robert doesn't need to be Mecha Man, and that reveals to everybody you're Mecha Man. And Malevola says, "Wait, Robert's Mecha Man?" In my head, I was like, "What? You were what? You didn't know you were literally here? Didn't you hear them say, 'Oh, we'll make you a Mecha Man again' or something, bitch? What?"
Yeah. I guess this is unavoidable in Telltale games. Some choices, like literally,
I think
don't
it's like one
hold
of those.
any meaning. Yeah.
It's one of those things where I don't think they covered all of their bases and
Hmm.
like really thought about it, like, because it's really only these two little moments that really like showcase like, all right, they forgot to like account for this, because otherwise they're pretty good on like covering a lot of bases, even for like the stuff that you would not expect people to go for, like, oh, what if you tried to romance both of them, or if you didn't romance any of them, type thing. It's like, okay, they thought ahead that far. This is like one of those cases where it's like, oh, okay, they probably forgot, they overlooked this like little detail, because
Mm.
it's like, unless you pick the right option, it just makes it go, huh, that's a bit of an odd choice.
Yep. Uh, what else did I want? Oh, uh, the thing. I might be a monster for saying this, but
Okay.
I just kill Shroud immediately. Um, I I I wouldn't bother about him holding my dog hostage. You know, if you get this thing, potentially a lot of people are going to die. I'm sorry, Beef. I'm going to sacrifice you. Um, I know it's horrible and whatnot, but I think yeah, the city ending is a far worse outcome. I just thought it was like a cheap shot. Like, oh come on, he gets my dog
I
from
mean,
somewhere. You know, it's just
it does
he
the
could have gotten
job.
someone. I think if it was a person, I'd be more willing to give him the.
Well,
But I just
that's the
no.
problem. That's the Well, I think that's the kind of the problem there, Troop Up. It's like all the characters that Robert would sort of give a shit about are either superheroes in the fight, or they're like not anywhere around. So you need to
Mhm.
have a defenseless like damsel, and they were.
Which is the dog.
I mean, you have to make the dog. That fat little fucker ain't gonna do shit. Like,
Yeah,
so you kind of need something, and of course, like, people kind of
I
resonate
mean,
when you're
Mandy's a
holding.
person now, so maybe her.
I mean, hey, they could get somebody, depending on what the ending is. For my
Like,
run, I didn't get the choice, and I was going to go for like just taking Shroud in alive, because I wanted
mm,
to uphold the heroic code, because I felt my version of Robert, while he's upset and angry with
hmm.
everything that Shroud done to him, his experience with the Z team makes him go, you know what, maybe I don't need to be killing people, because that would set a bad example for the team by showcasing these guys who are meant to be redeeming themselves, that, oh, it's totally okay to kill a guy if the situation calls for it. Because that's the general theme of this game. It's all about second chances and redemption for people. You know,
Yeah.
like it's a consistent through line. Like the Z Teamers, they're all supervillains that are trying to like make up for their past deeds and whatnot.
Do
Robert is trying to make up for everything that's going on in his life, and Bizagal's trying to make up for what she's done. Blonde Blazer's trying to just
mm,
redeem herself by finding someone that doesn't just see her as, a superhero, sees her as a person,
mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. And
Um, yeah, redemption. Like, do you want to hear about theology?
sure, why not?
So, I heard this somewhat recently. So, apparently, this is according to the Catholic Church, Catholicism. Angels and demons, they are beings set within their own nature. So, you know how we human beings, we're very dumb little creatures, we have to learn and stuff like that. Angels and
Mm-hmm.
demons, they don't have that. All right, they come packaged with all the intelligence, all the truth in the world, and whatnot. And once they decide upon something, what they're set on something, like I will help this human, or I will make this human miserable. They are dead set on doing just that. They're just like have like a prime directive. They don't grow. They don't learn from any mistakes or wrongdoings or sins or anything like that. They have just like that one goal in mind, and it's what makes us human beings much more special because we can reflect on our actions. What have I done? What consequences has it done, etc. There's that kind of interesting little detail that redemption carries a certain uniqueness to us, which is interesting. Uh, we're the only species, I guess, that can do that. Animals, maybe not so much of the case, but hey, that's something to think about, I suppose. So this theme of redemption, I like it. I do like it.
Yeah, yeah, that does seem to be the theme, and like, I would say, speaking of like themes, I've been kind of thinking a lot about Shroud because like his whole shtick is like he's predicting outcomes and whatnot, right? Like
Yeah.
he's like, I kind of wound up seeing it sort of like he's a representation of old school Telltale, like he's like a manifestation of an old Telltale player that's like done all the game theory on all the odds. He's done all the guides and everything. He's like, yeah, I know what you're gonna do because the choices don't really matter.
Mm.
You know,
I do like his monologue in episode 5 or 4, was it? And
was it the one where he shot the bartender and he
yeah,
was like,
I did.
I did like that one, like where he's like, hey, look, I know we're in a villain bar, but like, have a little class, have a little like respect for the superheroes, dude. Like,
Hmm.
come on.
Hmm. He was an
But
interesting
yeah,
one.
yeah, I quite liked him. I think maybe a small tweak I would do is to his dialogue because it's like right at the tail end, he starts swearing a little bit more. Where I feel like that should only be reserved for when like he's really losing his shit. Like if you give him both like the prototype and the real Astral Pulse,
He loses it. Yeah, I was
he like
like,
loses.
I was surprised by that. Like, wait, you can't tell? I thought this choice is just gonna be useless, and you're just gonna throw away the
I
right
thought
one.
that
Yeah.
too in my first run. I thought like I didn't really think about giving him both. I thought I could maybe trick him
Yeah.
with the fake one, but that didn't work out in my favor. But it is what it is. But I quite liked how when he's trying to figure out which one to pick, and one of his guys is like, "Well, maybe we figure out when he gets home." And he's just like, "Shut the fuck up!" Like he loses it. Like that's when I think you should have those moments where he like starts swearing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think
Especially if he's
more.
got someone out on his side who's annoying him now.
I I do find it funny how if you look at the scenes where Sonar or Coop like does the interruption with Sonar, he just slaps him upside the head. And he's just like, "Shut up." With Coop, he just stares right at her face with this depth stare, like, "Don't you fucking say a word." you know. But yeah, I think like that's what Shroud is. Like he's just Shroud is just an old school Telltale player that's just going off of a game guide. you know?
Yes, that's what I was going off of on the second run through. I was like, be sure to do this and this, because I think a lot more people would have been selecting Blonde Blazer if not for like the first or second episode. Like she is
I
definitely a
think
viable choice, but people are kind of thrown off because like, oh no, she's taken, and because the game insists upon Invisigirl, a lot more people are choosing her. But Blonde Blazer is clearly
well,
the better option.
I think it's like there's a combination of things. Like you weren't jumping in for Blonde Blazer because of the Taken nature, but you were also
Yeah,
thinking that her and Phenomena Man were gonna be bad guys.
yeah, or at least back
Like
together or something. Yeah,
and that was like a consistent theory throughout the entire run that Blonde
yeah.
Blazer was somehow going to be the
Like
bad
she's
guy.
too nice, she's too perfect. Like there's got to be a catch somewhere.
Yeah, because
No,
it's
the
because
catch
that's what.
is she doesn't have her powers when this. So you're like, is that a catch? Seriously?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's the fun. That's the funny thing about it. Like the whole like reveal of her is that she gets her powers from a magic amulet, and that she's kind of self-conscious about herself because people only see her as the hero and not the person underneath the hero, that kind of thing.
hmm.
While and I think it's just I think it's just because people have been so overloaded with stuff like The Boys and whatnot,
Yeah.
where like
Subversion of expectations. Yep.
yeah, you got those. Everything's got to be subverted. You can't have like a decent hero. They got to be holding some fucked up secret or something. Like you can't
Hmm.
just have like a straight laced, you know, like honest to god, like good person in there because that's bad apparently. So that's probably like one of the big appeals of this, which was like, hey, uh, this is a superhero world. We have aliens, we have magic demons and robots and kaiju and all that stuff. But the people, well, they're people. They have emotions. They act like people. That's it. That's all it is. And the worst case you could say about it is sometimes it just gets a little goofy. But that's it. Just a little goofy. You know,
Yep.
you like you're not seeing Jacksepticeye's characters start to commit freaking cannibalism or something just for shits and giggles or whatever. It's just he's goofy. He's a little funny. He punches people in the balls. There you go.
Hmm.
Like I think that's really what works for me in particular because it's like it's this nice superhero world. It's not ashamed to be a superhero world with all of its pretty interesting character designs. Even for like the background guys, it just like, hey, superhero world. We're not afraid to have cool designs.
Where do you think they could go from season 2?
I would say depending on how I don't know how they'd have to do it. They'd have to do some real hard work to figure out what would be the way to go about the story because obviously the two big ways of it going down is either Ibizagal is still on the good guy side or she goes on the bad guy side. So you have to address those two congruent storylines and then just work up something. So I would say like it'd probably be like maybe to do something where Robert can be like a mobile dispatcher, like he's dispatching while he's in the Mecha Man armor. That way you
Hmm.
can get into more action scenes and whatnot, maybe. Uh and then like obviously I would explore like other character types to go up against. Maybe
Hmm.
give you some other characters to dispatch. Obviously, I would say like a good idea for a villain would be like, you know, I would say like my personal ideas. I think you should introduce a character that used to be like one of Robert's dad's like old rivals from back in the day. Like
Well, that was Shroud, yeah.
not really.
Um,
I don't consider that Shroud because Shroud was a turncoat. That's the thing.
mm,
Like he's not a rival. I'm more thinking of like when Batman has Joker or something like that, or Superman has Lex Luthor, that kind of thing. Spider Man
yeah.
has the Goblin. I'm not. Shroud is not.
Apparently,
Shroud.
Robert's dad was abusive,
I
and
mean,
the
he
comic
was a.
suggests that.
Well, the thing was, he was a bit of a dick. Like he wasn't absolutely clean, but the thing was, he wasn't like, skinning people or whatnot. He was just a bit of an asshole, which is like not a bad thing, but like
I didn't get that impression in the
it.
game itself.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you have to watch, you have to read the tie-in like prequel comics to get that kind of information. Otherwise, you're not really given that kind of information because like for all you know from the game's perspective, like the Mecha Man before you was a straight shooter, and
Mm.
like that was kind of it. you
Maybe
know
a rival of the Prime Mecha Man. That'd be cool.
I mean, yeah, possibly. That's what I would think. I think it should be like you fighting the rival of your predecessors, that's just coming back into the fray, taking advantage of the situation because depending on obviously whether Shroud dies or not, his organization is in complete shambles. So like there you go. You have an opportunity there. But I mean, that's just what I would prefer. Like you get a villain that was like a proper rival. Yet you get the Mecha Man's version of the Goblin or Joker or whatever. You get their nemesis, not a turncoat like Shroud. Because I don't feel like he counts in that regard.
Hmm. Yeah. Sorry. I was reading something. Ryan Johnson was offered to write and direct episodes Rise of Skywalker, but he turned it down.
Oh, okay.
That's that's interesting. Imagine how things could have went. Um, have
Or
you replayed the game? I mean, talking about going back and
I've been like
exploring what other things could have been. Yeah.
I have done like some like smaller runs where I don't really change much of my choices too much,
Hmm.
but I do it to get like a better score in the dispatching sections.
Hmm.
Otherwise, like I haven't done like a full hardcore run where I want to make like the quote unquote best choices yet.
Yeah.
Like I just haven't gotten the time to do that lately. But I definitely plan on it, and I think that's a indication of like how good a game is. Like even if it's a long session, I mean like 2 episodes at a time takes like about an hour 40 minutes if you're maybe more. So you're looking at about 2 hours a run. You
Hmm.
know, uh, but even with that, if the game still is fun and enjoyable, and you have an enjoyable cast of crew of characters to fiddle around with and have fun, then like I think that's a good sign.
Hmm.
And I'm definitely eager to see what these guys can cook up because I think they got a good formula. Like the art style's good, the animation's pretty nifty. I think it helps that it's all pre-rendered since they don't have to do like those walking sections like I said. They can
Hmm.
just make a cutscene, call it a day, and throw some quick time event bullshit, or even if you want to turn it off, which I think that's actually a nice touch. Like sure it might be like a modern gaming thing, but I kind of can't do quick time events as much anymore. It just gets
Yep.
too tedious sometimes, you know. Especially if you're trying to play like between console or mouse and keyboard on this one, you do not need it to be screwing up during those times. I've seen people like fuck that up because the damn thing reads the wrong controller input.
Yeah, and the cutscenes sometimes severely lag, especially when I try to stream it. I don't know if it's just my 5-year-old gaming laptop or just the game file in general that are just kind of unstable. I tried to set it on like the lowest settings, everything. Still couldn't get it to sometimes freeze and whatnot. It's only when I didn't stream anything or anything like that then it kind of relaxed. But it's a bit of a bummer. I had a nightmare of streaming this game when it's only what about 6-8 gigabytes, if not that, which is really dumb. I don't know if it's just my specs or how big is it actually. uh
I mean, yeah, it could be
14
spec thing
gigabytes,
maybe,
like come on. Like I don't know, what do I need to improve my equipment or what? I mean, it's relatively, it shouldn't be such a taxing game, but I'm having trouble streaming it, which is insanely annoying. But hey.
Yeah, it's one of those things, but like, you know.
Hmm. Did you have any problems streaming it?
So, uh,
Any?
I
Did you
think
get any freezing or whatever, like during cutscenes and whatnot, and you had to pause it to kind of play it again?
I had some moments of I had one particular one which was right when you're on the boat doing the hacking mini game, like one of the last ones, it just straight up froze on me,
Hmm.
and I had to like cut the entire, like I had to shut down the game and restart the section more or less. Like I had to restart the entire boat section again. So I had to do like three whole ass hacking mini games
Hmm.
just to get back to my
Oh,
progress.
right. On one of those mini games, like I'm pretty sure it was like one light bulb that shone that you had to supply power to. And I was like stuck on it for like a good 40 or 30 minutes. So I had to look it up to YouTube. Finding it on YouTube was a nightmare as well. And it turns out it's supposed to say two light bulbs, not one. So not no wonder that I didn't know where the hell to go. But hey, that was just my adventure with puzzles. I love puzzles. I
Yeah,
absolutely
they
love
can
them.
be. Yeah, so it's like it's a choice there, but yeah. So let's see. I don't know. So anything? I mean, you played with the copyright free music, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't do that in my run.
Oh, okay.
I kind of
Uh,
went like I kind of went ballsy with mine. I didn't even put on the sensors for mine, which kind of was a little
uh.
scary for certain scenes. It was just like, oh
I was like, with toxic, I'm like, I'm glad I put it up.
yeah, I did not expect that with Toxic, and it was kind of like bad because I'm just sitting there like, oh god, it's like so many camera angles, like just showing it. It's like, okay, please stop. Like you're just rubbing it in my face about how I didn't put the sensor bar on, and then
Some
of
of them
course,
are like really weren't needed. Like some of the sensors. I'm trying to think of one.
oh, when sonar like flips you off.
No, I think it's when Invisigo flips someone off in a camera. Like it was like the donut store,
Yeah, I've
and it's
seen
like,
stuff like
and
that. Like I don't know.
and it was like from the side. You don't need to censor something like that. I can
They
barely
they
see it,
do
but still.
that. Yeah, they do. There's a couple of those where like a character flips you
Like
off.
the
They
the,
censor
the
it. I don't know.
sensor
It's a weird
the
choice,
sensor makes
but
it more visible. Like,
yeah,
oh wait, you can mistake that for like putting your hand up. Sometimes the sensor was like made stuff actively worse than it is. You know.
I got yeah, but hey, it's whatever. At the very least, it's good that it's just optional.
Yeah.
Like that's all I really care about there. I will say though, with the scene where Mizugal reveals she's got the augment on, in the locker room, that
Mm.
scared me because I like when it pops up and she's just naked. I'm like, oh no! I had to immediately shut the. I had to pause it and move it out of frame just so that way I wouldn't get hit with something. So I was like, oh god, no!
You could have turned it on the
Like you could have. Well,
pause thing. Yeah, the sensor.
I I I don't think they at the time. I don't think they
See,
had that
like
patched in.
the game is biased towards Invisigal. They show her naked, not blonde blazer. Unacceptable.
I mean, hey, look, if they really wanted to appeal to me, they would have given me Blonde Blazer and Coop, both naked.
Mm.
I would have liked that, but I'm a degenerate.
Mm.
Have I?
The problem, like why more people are on the blonde blazer side is because um they they immediately skipped to Invisigal and they thought that blonde blazer was too nice because
Well,
Invisigal.
it's just like,
No,
yeah,
no,
there's a
no.
little bit of favoritism with if it's a gal, and a lot of people definitely like that punk, like
It's
aggressive
definitely
tomboy chick.
the Witcher question, Yennefer or Triss, and I like that this is like a
This is
Mark
their
II
this is
version of
their
it.
equivalent, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, definitely.
Although,
But
like,
this one
obviously,
has a more better answer though. It's obviously
yeah,
Blazer.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Maybe like, who knows what they'll do for season two? Maybe they'll keep it the same, or maybe they'll just go, okay, we heard all the crazy people's uh ramblings. We'll make more characters romanceable. Why not? But yeah. So I think we'll just give it like just some. I guess we'll just say wrap it up with the. Would
Mhm.
this be something? Would this be something you'd recommend someone to like check out? You know.
Now that all the episodes have come out, yeah. I wasn't sure first couple of months. I was like, this is all right. But I think it stuck the landing, and I did like the ending, and I was like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
And I'd give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, I would. I definitely would recommend it to anyone who wants to try it out and like play it. Like it's especially good when you could switch off the quick time events, so you don't have to worry about that. Like,
Hmm.
and like, sure, it turns it into a visual novel, but I think that just works in this game's favor and the story. Because like you can just chill and relax and only get worried about it, the dispatching sections, and that's kind of about it. Or maybe when you're thinking about, oh, do I want to pick the tomboy mean girl or the blonde goody two shoe hero lady that can fly? Tough
The
choices, tough
answer is
choices.
obvious.
But yeah, yeah, but like we said, uh, Dispatch, I think it's a good game to check out. Obviously, price helps a lot for being $30.
Mhm.
I think that really went up well in this game's favor.
Dude,
Uh,
I'm trying to get Claire Obscura, and that's kind of expensive in my neck of the woods. I still haven't finished it. Um,
I don't touch turn-based French game,
yeah, I understand that, but
but yeah.
uh,
Uh, yeah. So with that all being said, I think we're gonna wrap that up. True Pop, do you have anything you want to plug in where people can find you and all that good stuff?
at True Culture 7, that's my on Twitter, and yeah, True Pop Culture 7 on my channel. I have not posted anything on my channel as of recently. I don't have any plans. Uh, but yeah, you can just find me there if you'd like to check some of my old stuff out.
Cool, cool. Uh, and of course, everybody knows me. I'm Bug. I do all my autistic shamblings and shenanigans all over on Twitter and YouTube. I will be on Ballbusters later today. I don't know what the hell Derby's going to be doing there, but it's there me. Also, you can find me on other shows like Pregame, Make Me Sandwich, in other news on Sammy Three Pete's channel, or on anyone's good old show that needs a spare tard like me. For tomorrow, I'm going to be doing I'm going to be trying another stream with Edge of Time. Hopefully, this time it doesn't crash on me again. I think I got the thing worked out. So, we'll be continuing our Edge of Time streams, so I can check that game off the list. But yep, that's all I got to say. Thank you all for coming along for this adventure. See you all next time. Goodbye.